Cherry Potts has been writing stories since she learnt how to form letters with a quill. Sometimes she gets into print. Most recently, her collection Tales Told Before Cockcrow was published by Only Women Press. She has had work performed at Lions League London twice. She is currently in search of a publisher for a lesbian fantasy epic. Any publishers interested, just leave your details.
Surely won't be long.
A second-hand emotion will be read by Katy Darby.
A Second-Hand Emotion by Cherry Potts. I've been dancing and singing since morning. I came in for the market with all my bundles feeling like Christmas, though that's weeks away yet. I shoved a tape in the old portable deck on the shelf above the kettle and sang along with Ella. 2 rooms and kitchen, I'm sure would do. And later, with Time Daily, rather louder. And what's more, baby, I can cook! There's hardly room to move in my cupboard in the kitchen, but I'm swaying and stamping and shouting the words like I have a whole dance floor. That's what you do to me. You make me want to shout, yeah! Shout, yeah! Come on now! I don't eat lunch. I've pigged on testing cake mixture and fresh baked scones and the crust cut off the sandwiches. I've bought homemade jam and farm cream and special cheese, and I can hardly wait to see your face. You make me feel like dancing, romancing. I laid my tiny table with the tablecloth from the bring and buy at the school and put out my best china, bought from Jim the Plates, halfway down Market Street. He sells beautiful stuff, which doesn't match, but it all comes from posh once upon a time sets, and isn't chipped. I put the jam into dishes with lids and put out sugar cubes in a bowl the colour of strawberry blancmange, balancing the worn silver plate tongs on top. Sugar, oh honey, honey, you are my candy girl. I look at the table. There's no room for plates of food. What I really need is one of those dessert trolleys, or a cake stand with tiers, and doilies. I have one doily, but I don't want to take the carefully arranged jam tarts off the plate to put a doily under it now. And I'm not sure it will pass muster. I don't think it's clean. I put out napkins, but not in the rings that I keep on the mantel shelf. Napkin rings suggest I expect you to come back to use the napkin again. No. You need to understand this for the ironic gesture at tea with the vicar that it is. You could almost call it an installation if this was Stoke Newington instead of the wrong end of Broad Oak. Having checked that Neil upstairs is out, I run a hot bath and turn up the deck so I can hear it. One day he'll come along, the man I love, and he'll be big and strong, the man I love. Getting dressed. I'm in West Side Story mode. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay, and I pity any girl who's a me to da 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 da. Although pretty is stretching it. I think I look pretty good. I like the fire I laid before the bath. Forward planning, see? I usually end up with coal dust under my nails, but not today. Today is going to be perfect. Too many people take second best, but I won't take anything less. It's got to be perfect. I fidget with the curtains, wanting them pulled to keep in the warmth, but the room seems smaller, with that tall window smothered, and I love the almost dusk of the afternoon with the sulphurous yellow of the street lamps opposite, making strange shadows. And I want you to see the welcome glow of my lights. lights. I glance at the single overhead bulb in its workaday metal shade. It seems a little harsh suddenly. It's drowning out the amber flicker of the fire. I review options. Pull the bedside lamp in? Too intimate. Nope, it'll have to do. I compromise on the curtains, pulling them so that they don't meet, but the drafty edges of the windows are covered. Satisfied, I settle down on the sofa, where I have a good view down the road so I can see you coming, and run to open the front door, just before you leave. The view from this upper window is beginning to get me down. The cold comes off the glass like the Arctic tundra and stiffens my face. But I can't move away. I curl up, pulling the throw off the back of the sofa and wrapping it round my shoulders and across the lower half of my face. It's too stiff to be comforting, but gradually it creates a microclimate of body warmth trapped. Smells of long-ago meals and cough medicine. I pull my feet under it and rest my head on the back of the sofa, so I can still stare down the street. I was only 24 hours from Tulsa, only one day from your arms. My back hurts, and there are pathetic, trembling shivers running through me like a small dog that wants to go home. Now, please. But I am home. I have nowhere to run away to. There's a woman down the street, child by the hand, waiting for the lights to change. He looks about 4. He's pulling against her. I can't hear, but I can tell by the shape of his mouth that he's whining or grizzling. She jerks him sharply, almost pulling him off his feet. I raise my head then. Can't be bothered. I lay my cheek against the sofa and look beyond her at the bus stop, the school kids eating warm pastries outside the baker's, in the corner where the street market spills out onto the main road. They're starting to pack up now. Those who've sold all of today's fruit, or those who can't stand the cold any longer. The first stall is being trundled down to the lock-up under the railway. 2 men straining to keep it under control, ignoring the traffic lights, which are against them, nodding breathlessly at the indulgent bus driver, who lets them across, then slides to a halt at the stop. The kids scuttle from the baker's to the bus, and I hear, faintly, cries of rage and laughter, as one of them loses a half-eaten Danish in a hurry. I look at them all, and then turn my head to look at the table. All set and waiting for you. I've let the fire go out. I didn't turn the tape over when it finished because I don't feel like singing now, nor dancing, because you aren't coming. I stare down at the scurrying street again, and I wish I could swap my life. With anyone, really. Kids on the bus, market traders, even that 4-year-old with the angry mum. What would any of them give me for this life? My 2 rooms and a shared bathroom. My shattered expectations. If I were to push up the window and shout out my invitation, who'd take up the offer? I wouldn't. You haven't. I mean to get up, to clear it all away. But my feet tangle in the throat. When I come to, I cut my chin on the broken teapot. And there's butter in my hair.